downtown Douglasville, but you need to come and see and be a part of that. So for our seniors, we're looking out for our seniors. We're doing things that our seniors need, and by the November Thanksgiving, I think we're all trying to allude to, is that's when we should kick off that grand opening. We just did the groundbreaking about a week ago, but that should be a huge grand opening. Also for our seniors, we just recently got a new van, an activity van for our seniors. So we're busy assuring that our seniors are well taken care of, ensuring that they are well taken care of. Also, you know, forthcoming, we got the new, what is it called? Let me get the right name so we say this correctly. We got the Douglas County Adult Detention and Law Enforcement Center that should be opening somewhere about September, the latter part of September, or definitely by the end of this year. Now, understand what this entails, that there will be other things, there will be the largest building in Douglas County, which I think is a good thing. The downside is, let's not make sure our kids be a participant in that facility. So that system is what we have to, we got it now, and it's a done deal, but let's assure that our children are getting programs, that things will help them set aside and not become a part of the system, even though we've got this. Now, my question to my colleagues, which always ask, what will we be doing when it comes to the operations? Now, it's great that we've passed a SPLOST, Tier 1 SPLOST that will actually get this building. Now the operation side of it becomes a nuisance that we got to be ready for. And what I mean by that is this. Somebody's got to operate the building. That will incur a cost. So somebody's got to pay for that cost, just like your parks and recs, just like your street pavings and so on. So somebody will have to pay that cost. So I also asked my colleagues, how do we plan to pay for this during the operation part of it? It's paid for through our SPLOST dollars, but now how do we pay for it now when the operations start? So don't be eluded by thinking we got a great building, not understanding just like this building here, this lodge, when you cut on the air, when you run the water, when you do the roofing, and so on, somebody has to pay for that. And again, to the citizens of Douglas County, understand that will be you and I. So prepare yourself for that particular setting. I'm just trying to forewarn you. Also, we just recently opened up a new park in Lithia Springs. For those of you who don't know, we got a new park that opened up in Lithia Springs right off the Lee Road there, so come by and enjoy that. We just renovated the Woodrow Wilson Park. It's ready and open again as well, so that park is already kicked off and running again and back up in operation, so it's more of a passive park. That was a park that was flooded back in 2008 or 9, I think it was. So during that flood, that's when we kind of re-established that park to be more of a passive park, but it's now officially back open. We got coming up September Saturdays. For those of you who like to hang out with us at the courthouse, we're going to have September Saturday. So every Saturday in September, there will be something happening, whether it's dealing with veterans, whether it's dealing with senior citizens, and we'll have this type of a setting at the downtown or at the county courthouse. So we'd like to invite you to come and be a part of that. You just heard about the redistricting of the maps. With Kelly now, and I have made some adjustments. Now, I've been pulled into more of downtown Douglasville and have a smaller portion of Lithia Springs, not totally out of Lithia Springs, but a smaller portion, which Kelly now has 90% of Lithia Springs, which I think is a great thing. But he and I and the other commissioners all work well together, so I must say that's a really good thing. I also like to invite you guys out to what I call my coffee and conversations. I do that every other month. The next one will be coming up in October, I apologize, in October. So I'd like to invite you to that. Now, this time you get a shot at coming by, talking with me one-on-one, bringing up any issues or any concerns that you may have that's dealing with something in your county, in your neighborhood, in your homeowners association. It really doesn't matter. So the topic is endless. If I provide the coffee, you provide the conversation. So you're more than welcome to be a part of that, and we'd love for you guys to be a part of that. So please join me. I've got some flyers, so if you'd like to have one and just kind of spread the news and come by, everybody's welcome. Everyone is welcome. And lastly, I'm going to close on this note, and I know Kelly might want to come back and talk about this. We got the loss negotiations that's going on with Austell, Lithia Springs, and Villa Rica. So with that being said, from my understanding, I received an email recently that said we have come to some kind of happy compromise. Not totally agreeing with that happy compromise. However, that has happened, and we hopefully will be voting on this and this coming Tuesday. And I invite you guys to be a part of those meetings when we're casting these types of votes, whether we agree and or disagree. But we need your input as to what may happen. Now, with the loss negotiations, I think there could have been some other things that should have been done during that process. My question I ask my colleagues is, how do we plan to pay for or deal with that loss that we're going to lose? What I mean by the loss, we're going to lose about anywhere between somewhere about year 3 or 4, roughly about $3 million, roughly. Somebody's got to accommodate that dollar. Somebody's got to make up that payment there, that loss. So with that, I caution you guys as to whether or not we should move forward with the negotiations that we've done thus far, or should we stop and take another back seat, and as some would say, let's go to court or go and let a judge decide, which I think my colleagues kind of differ in that setting. So once again, I want to thank you guys for letting me take a few minutes of your time. It's a lot to cover. If you go to our website, you can find out as much information you want to find out. If you go to celebratedouglas.com, you can find out all this information and some. But again, thank you, and if you have questions for me and or Kelly, we'll be more than happy to hang around and answer questions. I don't know if there will be a platform to ask or answer questions or whatever, but we're here and more than welcome to talk to you on issues that's concerning Douglas County, or if you want to just find out what's happening in your neighborhood. Again, thank you again. My name again is Henry Mitchell III. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell. We'll definitely bring you back up here in a few minutes to talk more about the loss issue, because we know that's a big thing that's going on right now, not only with Douglas County, but also Fulton County as well, too. We want to make sure everybody has all their information. There's a few questions that we have gotten. Now that we've gotten our government officials spoken to talk to them, they'll be here with us for a little while longer, so you go over and meet and greet them. Next up, we've got a special treat for you out here today at Mableton. We found a very historic item out here, going to the South Cobb Library, that told about this great big book. I mean, this book is very huge that I've been trying to read this week. Her name is Mary Ward. She's the young lady sitting right here to my right, that's over the camera, and she was a part of Lithia Springs history. She knows a lot about Mableton history, and we met her out there. I'll never forget how we met her this week. With Deborah and I went to the South Cobb Library to take care of some things. Senior sister told us, there's this woman out there giving parking tickets. So we walked outside, so why are we getting parking tickets in the library parking lot? And she had on her Cobb County police uniform. She works in the school department. Talked to her, and she said, we're having a vision. Oh, I know a lot about Mableton, told us the places to go. So she's going to tell us a lot about some things that she knows about the area that really embrace this historic occasion. And she's also an evangelist. And she has a lot that she's going to share with us. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Miss Mary Ward a round of applause. This is the Mableton History Month.
I'll make some corrections first. I am not a police officer. I am an evangelist. I am a crossing guard public safety officer. My supervisor is Chief Heaton in Cobb County. I am a bailiff of the High Trial Court. And I work for the judge that did the Brian Nichols case, the Tokar case, the crematory case. I feel that he's one of the highest profile judges in the nation, Judge James G. Botiford, especially Fulton County called on him. And as I said, I am an evangelist. And it's so ironic that I will be on the platform with Douglas County, because I was the last official treasurer of record for the city of Lithia Springs, who, from my understanding, was the second city to close down in the nation. So I was listening to Commissioner, one of the persons that's running for office in Cobb, and the East Cobb people were saying that they wanted a city. It's not a joke when you say you want to open up a city. I can remember those days when we had to kite those checks, and we had to try to pay salaries because I had to write those checks on that Friday when there was no money. And we were waiting on those franchise fees to come in to the city of Lithia Springs. So I can remember when Judge James signed the order to shut it down. So, and I do have information, I can remember being the first African American to hold that seat. sometimes it's not good to pat your back, so I'm just saying a little history on Mary. I was the first African American to run for the State House of Representatives in Cobb County, coming out of the Mableton district, which was West Cobb at that time. They say that I ran after a 26-year veteran who had been in the State House of Representatives. I was sent from the Southeast region of the NAACP to get the charter back in Cobb County and get things moving again. So it's a lot that I won't tell you, but if you want to just pick up a copy of some of the things that we have worked on in Cobb County, or you can go to the AJC or Marietta Daily Journal, and especially Doug Couch, City of Lithia Springs, Douglasville, and put up a lot of history of how we had to balance a $284,000 deficit where they had stolen money. Okay, and thanks to that same Judge Bodiford and Mayor Glada James, who was able to put me in a spot. You know how sometimes African American people in positions as treasurer, you're the gopher to take the fall. Well, I have a letter from the Honorable Judge James G. Bodiford, who gave them permission to keep me there to the last day when I hand them that check. Because, see, I wasn't going to be the gopher. I didn't steal the money. Okay, or I didn't borrow the money. That's a nicer way of putting it. $284,000 only. So my point is, it's a difficult thing to start a city. And the other part, I did meet two wonderful people. I met Dominque and the Mableton Business Association partner who wanted to talk about a new focus, a new vision. Back on August the 17th, Mableton was disincorporated. Here we are on August the 18th. That was in 1916. And because somebody messed up in 1916, y'all know they messed up, don't you? You know that's why the city was closed. All these years, they have kept the city shut down. And now the people in 2012, a new group of folks that have moved from every nation here, want to know why we're a city. Why can't we be a city? So I thought it was a good day to put out a little bit of flyer saying, a new day, the people should be reconsidered for a city in Mableton. You're unincorporated. You need a city in Mableton. You need to have a mayor. You need to have elected officials in order to have a voice. So all I can do is just pass out to you the different flyers that I have. And the greatest thing that we did, commissioners, is that we started a newspaper. It's called the Cobb, Fulton, Cross County Community Times. We knew that it was going to cross the line. We knew that the times would come where that we would have to be incorporated, and this group would work with that group. I can remember when all you had to do is step across the street and you was in Austell. Step back across the street with your foot, you was in Lithia Springs. Half of Austell went to Mayor Jerkins, half stayed with Douglas County. So now I'm interested in listening to what this LOST program is about. I was very interested in hearing, and I do want you to reiterate a little bit more on that. How did Paulding County come into Douglas County? I think you said something right there. So it's a lot that the people, you need to listen. You need to hear. We don't have unintelligent folks now, and it ain't about your race. It ain't about your color. It's about being an intelligent voter. If you go to www.MaryWardCater or www.YouTube, Gmail, and pull up Mary Ward Cater, it'll tell you about a smart voter. Don't be a dumb voter when you go to the box. Smart voters know what their people are all about. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you for that speech, Mayor. That was great moments in history in Mableton and Lithia Springs. So we're giving you a very historic day today out here. Next up, we want to have time for you guys to